Many years ago, when my girlfriend broke up with me, I was feeling all the things that you are feeling right now. And to preface, this girlfriend I'm referring to is the one before Katie. But I was feeling the hurts, the doubts, the regrets for the things that I did that I could have done better, the anger on some days, and just this big whirling spiral of pain, really. But then I stumbled across the manifestation community, and there was this glimmer of hope. Albeit I didn't fully believe it in the moment, but when you're in such a low place, hope is hope. You cling to it like it's the best thing to have ever existed. And I was listening to these people and I was reading these books and I was hearing this person saying that thing and that person saying those things and those people saying their own things. And on top of my doubts and hurts and angers and pains, I became confused. I became unsure I was doing it right. I became unsure if this was even real or if I was just wasting my time. I bet that sounds quite familiar for yourself right now. And you may not be in a breakup, you may just be in a hot and cold situationship, or you've got a real big crush on someone you work with, but I'm sure you're feeling, to various degrees, the same ways that I felt right then, so you can at least resonate with this message. And upon trial and error, I eventually figured out manifestation. I eventually was able to manifest careers and money and, as many of you know now, Katie back when we broke up. And upon doing that, I realized that manifestation is much more simple than it is led to be believed. The only reason why it feels so complicated is because there's emotions involved, yes, and there's old stories and so on. There's genuine things that we need to work through within our minds. But there's many different people with many different perspectives and many different limiting beliefs of their own that they're trying to convey with the best of interests. They're trying to help you. But when you've got all of these different people saying all of these different things, of course, I'm included in that list as well, it can be confusing. So my message on this channel has always been to simplify this as much as possible. And today, I am giving you the simplest routine and daily process to manifest your specific person that I could possibly give you. This is going to be so simple that if you follow it, you not only will succeed, but to fall off of it, you're going to have to try to fall off. That's how easy it is. Now, there's three components that we're going to be focusing on. We're going to be focusing on conscious creation, responsiveness, and detachment. Now, yes, self-concept is also a huge part of manifestation. So I will be putting a self-concept video at the end card for you to check on afterwards to kind of work out that side of things. But as this is a routine for your specific person, I'm just going to be focusing on manifesting a specific person and a routine to do so. The self-concept side, absolutely huge benefit. Please don't miss it. But this is just the routine that you need to follow. So without further ado, with my exposition done, let's get started on conscious creation. And this is where you are proactive with placing yourself in the state to manifest your desire. In order to manifest, you must think, feel, and or act as though you have that which you desire. You're making it your state of being through conscious creation, through consciously entering new thoughts, new feelings, and so on. So with this proactive side, what we are aiming to do is, as it sounds, proactively take ourselves out of who we are now and place ourselves in who we desire to be as though we are already that person. Now for this, you can use any techniques you like. Visualizations, affirmations, scripting. Pick what works for you, because this is your conscious awareness that we are dictating. If you hate visualizations and you come out of them feeling more frustrated than aligned to the end. Just because someone on YouTube or in a book says that visualizations are the best tool doesn't mean it's going to be the best for you. If you hate them, you're going to be less aligned than if you just used what works for you. So please pick your process. An affirmation I recommend to get started with is I am in a loving, passionate, and committed relationship with person. A visualization to get started with could simply be the two of you laid up in bed, them telling you how much they love you on your 3rd year anniversary, for example. A script could be writing out a story about your relationship, detailing your relationship, or just simply writing out affirmations of your relationships. Inner conversations could be of the same vein as the visualization. You're just hearing the conversation. Those are some default things that you can get started with. But whatever technique works best for you, pick that, because then you'll have easier alignment, because it's your alignment that matters most. I like affirmations. If you hate them, I'm not going to force affirmations on you because you won't align to it very well. So pick what you want. And the proactive times that we're going to be doing is the morning, 5 to 10 minutes upon waking, starting that day strong, doing your technique when you're naturally in that alpha brainwave state, which is where the subconscious mind is more receptive than the beta brainwave length or state, which you're in as you go through your day. And you're going to repeat again at night just before falling asleep, or even better, while falling asleep. Say you've got affirmations as your choice, just looping them as you're falling asleep, or looping them for those 5 to 10 minutes. And that is your proactive time. 5 to 10 minutes in the morning to start the day right, 5 to 10 minutes in the evening or prior or as you're falling asleep to end the day right, utilizing when the subconscious mind is most receptive. Now you can do the affirmations in the morning while getting ready for work, while having a morning shower, or you could just lay there in bed and just affirm. There is no this must happen. I just highly recommend in the morning, in the night, start the day right, end the day right, use when your subconscious mind is receptive in the morning, and use it when it's receptive in the evening. And this is going to, if you think of a balancing scale as far as your state, this is going to help add weight to the side you want, because you're starting your day already in the end and you're closing out the day in the end. Now we move on to the responsive side. As you go through your day, I don't urge you to do proactive work unless you genuinely have nothing else going on. Like when you're washing up, or just as you're clearing up the living room floor or something, loop some affirmations, do a little inner conversation. That's fine. But outside of that, I do not urge you to do conscious work, because we want to aid in detachment, which I'll get onto when I get to that point. But this reactive side, or responsive side is the way that I like to look at it, is while I don't urge conscious work in those moments, let me more accurately say, I don't urge proactive work in those moments, that doesn't mean I don't urge keeping an eye on your state and shifting it if necessary. As you go through your day, you will have thoughts, some positive, some negative, some neutral. What matters is if your mind has naturally brought your desire up, you ensure that it's ending in the way that is favorable. So if it's a positive thought regarding your desire, your person in this instance, fine, let it play out. Ideal, to be honest, because that shows that naturally you've got some mental cognition of good stuff regarding your person. That's good. We want that. If it's a neutral thought, guide it towards a positive. Just do yourself a favor. If you're already thinking about it naturally, do yourself a favor, affirm, visualize, inner converse, script, whatever you can do in that moment, or whatever you like to do in that moment, guide it back to the desired outcome. If it's a negative thought and it's triggering, I urge you first to take a couple of deep and deliberate breaths first, to help center the body and mind, to help them get back into cohesion, and then choose your process again. Affirmations, visualizations, scripting, whatever works for you. And what the intention with this is is you are continuously guiding your attention away from that undesired state and back onto that desired state. And if you think of that balancing scale, we started the day off right, so our weight is where we want it, or further down. If you just let your thoughts run riot, you'll have this constant tipping back and forth. If you catch those thoughts and guide them, or let the positive ones play out as they do, you're just going to continuously add weight to that positive story, making it so that there's no space for that negative story to exist, helping with that dominant state, helping it be the true story that your subconscious mind absorbs as true. If you're doing proactive work and responsive work, where else could your subconscious mind get undesired stories from? And when I say responsive work, this could be anything. This could be thoughts regarding what's happened in the breakup, thoughts if there was a breakup, thoughts about their hot and cold behavior, thoughts about the no contact, thoughts about if it'll even work, anything that involves your person. Obviously, I recommend doing this for any topic at all, but this topic is about person. So anything that involves your person in any negative or neutral capacity, guide back to a favorable story, even if that means just looping a couple of affirmations until you feel satisfied. Because once you've done that, then you've guided your attention back to the desired state, and there is no space for that negative to exist. Now, finishing off on the third point of the triangle, detachment. Detachment is what allows your subconscious mind to really just get stuff churning in the background. You, like myself, would have had many experiences, some big, some small, where the thing has come when you weren't paying attention. Maybe you wake up to the text. Maybe you've just gotten back from being out with your friends. Maybe you've just finished a really intense day at work. Or maybe you've just had a really nice time just chilling, watching TV. You pick up your phone, and there's something. 90% of manifestations come when we least expect it, because that's where the subconscious mind has that freedom to explode. Think of it like a seed. If you're constantly watering it, constantly digging it up to check its growth, constantly like holding it to the sun and drying it out, you will never get a flourishing seed. But if you water it where necessary, proactive work, if you let it have the sunlight necessary, responsive work, and then let it grow as it does, detaching work, you'll have a beautiful flower or whatever plant you like in its place. So we want to detach. Now, detaching doesn't mean letting go. Detachment doesn't mean giving up. Detachment doesn't contradict this idea of persisting. Detaching means to let go of what doesn't serve you and allow your seed to grow. With actual seeds, literally liken it to an actual plant. You don't stop watering and giving it sunlight just because you did it for a few days. You continue to water, you continue to give it the sunlight necessary. You just allow it to grow as it does. Manifestation is the same thing. In order to detach, you don't stop doing the work. You just ensure that outside of doing the work, you are letting your seed grow. And to do this in the way that I have found to be most effective on top of self-concept work, but of course you have that self-concept video at the end as well, is to live your fullest life. Now there's twofold reasons on this, and I'll try not to be too long because I can see that this video is getting a bit lengthy. The first reason, when you are living your life, you let the subconscious mind get to work in the background on that desire. The less you're digging it up to check, the more it can grow. So if you're leaving your desire alone outside of the proactive times and the responsive times, you're letting your subconscious mind grow and flourish that seed. So that's the first reason. The second reason is we get more of what we are, not what we want. The whole basis of manifestation is that of being the version who already has what we want. Now, if in your end result, when you have them, you would be living your best life, albeit I understand you would be doing different things, but you would still be living your best life. If you start living your best life now, that aligns you to a version of you who is living your best life, which if you associate that with having your desired outcome, you're quite literally making it easier to align. Because if you're living your best life when you have what you want, but right now you're living like crap because you don't want to live your best life, or you're too invested in your manifestation to live your best life, there is quite clearly a disconnect between the two versions. So start living your best life to let your subconscious mind get to work making it happen, but also so you can be in even greater alignment to having your person, which helps bring them in. And I suppose an honorable mention for this as well is if you're living your best life, you get more things to help you live your best life, which means you'll get more money, say, you'll get more social interactions, you'll find that your appearance might even clean up and things like that, which small things, yes, but they all add. Like one slice of pie at a time might seem insignificant, but if you've got the whole thing in front of you made up of 12 different slices, all of a sudden you are indulging. So don't knock those little things. Don't knock your skin looking healthier, or your friends being a little bit more attentive, or your family being a little bit more accepting, or getting some free money from an aunt you haven't spoke to in a while, just because it's not your person. All of these things will all accumulate to you having a great life while your person comes into play. So that is my no bullshit guide. It is very simple. It's taken me longer to explain it, or near enough the same time roughly to explain it as it would to do the routine throughout the whole day. You're probably looking at double the length of this video across the whole day to do a manifestation process that's going to get you your special someone. To me, that sounds simple. That doesn't sound like a lot of commitment, which is good because that means it shouldn't be hard for you to do. And yet, tried and tested, this routine will get you what you want. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to let me know. Drop me a like and a comment to do that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click the bell icon. I release roughly 2 videos a week, 5 shorts a week, helping you manifest your deepest desires. If you would like help from me, I do have an elite academy that has access to all my courses, all my exclusive videos, all my products, email coaching with me upon signing up, and much, much more. Or if you would like to just go straight to the coaching one-on-one and get you the advice that you need tailored to your situation, that is also linked down below in the comment section and the description. But thank you very much for being here with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.